Yes, what happened further?
So then after a few minutes, suppose maybe 10 to 15, they then arrive back. This is now Constable Munareng with this member as well as with accused number 1, my lord.
So, a few minutes after?
10 to 15 minutes they arrive back. Narrating with accused.
Okay. But what's ukuthi nje emuva-ke kwesikhashana ke ngathi-ke iyishumi noma ishumi nanhlanu ke base bebuya-ke yena uMunareng kanye-ke nozakwabo-ke bebuyela khona e-Eratin kanye naye umsolwa.
The time that I've just mentioned, the 15 minutes, it was 15 minutes after what event?
It was 15 minutes after I was talking to Colonel Mboto.
Oh, kwakuyimizuzu-ke ewu-15 emuva kokuthi sengikhulumile naye uKolonel Mboto.
Yes, you may proceed.
My lord, they handed the suspect, accused 1, to me, and I asked him if he was fine or if he had any complaint. He said he was fine, my lord, and there was no complaint from him.
Base ke bemdlulisela-ke kumina-ke umsolwa wokuqala ngambuza-ke futhi ukuthi kukhona yini akhala ngako noma khona yini anganelisekile yikona wathi-ke cha akukho.
Yes. I further asked him, my lord, if he will still be willing to point out the following day. I was very specific, a witch doctor that came up in our discussion, and the answer was yes, he's still willing to do that freely and voluntarily, my lord.
Ngase ngimbuza-ke ukuthi-ke ngelanga elilandelayo usayimisele yini ukuthi-ke uhambe-ke uyokhomba-ke inyanga-ke wase ngoba-ke iyona-ke eyavela-ke inkulumo esasinayo nyanga noma-ke isangoma-ke waphendula-ke wathi yebo.
I then, my lord, indicated to him that Sergeant Mohola with some of the members will come to him the following day to follow up on that witch doctor investigation, and that if he should feel that he has changed his mind or he needs assistance or legal representation or whatever concern that he may have, then he should feel free to bring it up to her attention, my lord.
Ngase ngimazisa futhi-ke nokuthi-ke kulandelayo-ke uzoza-ke uSergeant Mohola azoqhubeka-ke nalelo phenyelele noma la kwakufanele ukuthi kiwe khona-ke noma kuwukuthi-ke uma kuwukuthi ngalelo langa lelo-ke useshintshe umqondo-ke noma-ke ucabanga ukuthi khona-ke nje okungamphathi kahle-ke kuzofanele lokho-ke noma unesifiso sokuthi abe nommeli noma udinga usizo lommeli akusho lokho kuyena uSergeant Mohola.
I further, my lord, requested the same member, Sergeant Munareng, with the crew that he was having to assist with the escort of the sergeant, the investigator, in escorting accused 1 to whatever that needed to be done and eventually to the detention facility.
Ngase ngimcela-ke yena-ke uSergeant Munareng kanye nozakwabo-ke lo owayenaye ngalelo langa-ke ukuthi-ke balekeleleke yena uSergeant ngaloko-ke okwakufanele ukuthi kwenziwe-ke nokuthi-ke ase abuyiselwe la avalelwe khona noma agcinwe khona.
We then parted ways, my lord.
Sase sihlukana-ke.
Did you know where accused number 1 was going to be detained?
I was informed, my lord, that he was detained at Valeria SAPS.
Ngatshelwa-ke ukuthi-ke umsolwa wokuqala-ke wayevalelwe kumaphoyisa-ke ase-Valeria.
You testify that upon his return from Diepkloof police station, he did not have any complaints. Did you see any injuries on him?
No, I did not, my lord, and I also did not detect or pick up any sign of uneasiness or panic. It was basically, for me, in my own observation, my lord, it was more a sign of a relief. He was looking better than when he was. Like, you know, when something has been taken off your shoulders. But other than that, my lord, there was no sign of fear, concern, or threats that I detected when I observed him, and I also did not see any visible injuries when I was talking to him, my lord.
Ushilo-ke kubufakazi bakho-ke ukuthi uma ebuya-ke khona erathini umbuzile-ke ukuthi khona yini akhala ngakho-ke noma engaphathekile kahle ingabe-ke khona yini owakubona wena-ke ukuthi-ke mephendula-ke mina-ke engakubona nje ngabona-ke ukuthi-ke umuntu okhululekile-ke futhi-ke ebukeka nanjengomuntu-ke manje-ke osekhululeke noma osengcono ngaphezu kwendlela ebeyiyo ngapha. Uyazi uma kunento nje esuswe emahlombe akho usuzizwa ngcono-ke manje, so angazi ngibone nje noma ngalela langa angibonanga ukuthi khona into engamphethanga kahle, kukhona okumhluphayo, konke lokho angazi ngibone nokuthi ngibone-ke futhi ukuthi ushayiwe.
And what time did you part ways with him?
It would have been after midnight, my lord. May not be specific, but it was just after 12 midnight. But definitely before 12:30. You know, it could be between 12 to 12:30, but definitely before 1. It was just after midnight.
Isikhathi-ke ungathi-ke wayeseshayileke u-12 wasebusuku-ke, kodwa maybe ungathi nje phakathi-ke kwakhe u-12 no 12:30, kodwa-ke engekashayi u-1 uma sihlukana.
Yes, you may proceed.
My lord, then the following day, that is now the 31st of May 2020, I received a call from Sergeant Mohola, who informed me that they found the said witch doctor that we spoke about the previous day, and they were on their way to the office. Rather, they asked where we should meet, and I directed them to come to the same provincial office with the said witch doctor.
Ngelanga elandelayo-ke ngase ngithola ucingo olubuya kuyena-ke uSergeant Mohola engitshela-ke ukuthi-ke impela-ke isangoma noma inyanga leyo-ke bayithola-ke, esengibuza futhi ukuthi-ke sihlangane kuphi. Ngase ngibatshela-ke ukuthi asihlanganeke kwihhovisi lesikhulu noma-ke e-provincial office naso-ke nayo-ke inyanga leyo.
My lord, they arrived with the said witch doctor. It was in the late afternoon, early evening, and I came to know him as Mr. Lion Zwane. That is now the witch doctor.
Beza-ke kumina-ke ngathi nje kwakusemini-ke ilanga no imini okay, ngathi nje sekuntambama-ke yena naye-ke ubaba lo kwaku-Lion Zwane.
Just a minute. Yes.
When he arrived, my lord, when he was brought to my office, I introduced myself. I was introduced firstly, then I introduced myself to him, warned him according to his personal rights, and informed him about the purpose of our interaction. That is, his name came up on the matter before court, before this court. In other words, the matter of Senzo Meyiwa.
Wethulwa-ke kumina uyena-ke nami ngase ngizethula-ke kuyena-ke ngase ngimtshela-ke ngamalungelo akhe-ke anawo ngokomthethosisekelo, ngamtshela-ke futhi nenhloso noma injongo yokuthi-ke sihlanganeke ngalelo langa lelo, nokuthi-ke igama lakhe lavela-ke mayelana nalolu daba oluphambi kwenkantolo-ke manje udaba-ke lokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
While we were talking, my lord, at that time, accused one was then walked in. He was brought in. It was not planned, but he just walked in with some of the EMPD members into my office.
Ngaleso sikhathi-ke ngisakhuluma naye-ke ubaba uZwane loyo-ke kwakungasiyona-ke into eyayihleliwe, kodwa nje umsolo wokuqala wangena-ke ehamba nawo amalunga e-EMPD.
My lord, what became prudent and abundantly clear is that when Mr. Zwane locked eyes with accused one, it was clear that he knows him because he made utterances.
Kwathi-ke noma-ke into eyavele nje yaqhamuka-ke yacaca-ke ukuthi kwathi uma kuhlangana amehlo akhe ubaba uZwane namehlo akhe umsola wokuqala-ke kwacaca banje ukuthi bayazana-ke, ebesafuna ukusho bakusho, kodwa-ke umshushisi umvimbeli.
Scott, please, my lord, we have proposed to the defense that the evidence of Mr. Zwane be incorporated in the trial within the trial. They are still mulling over that issue. We'll deal with it in due course. Yes, you may proceed.
I don't understand.
Mr. Zwane has already testified in the main trial. We've requested that his evidence be injected in the trial within the trial. And they are still contemplating that issue now.
Yes, Mr. Mgomezulu, what's your view?
My lord, it should be kept in suspense during the discussion.
Which discussions?
That evidence that was made by Mr. Zwane during the main trial be injected to the trial within the trial.
What does the law say?
My lord, according to my understanding, the evidence that has been led in the trial, in the main trial, cannot be used in the trial within the trial.
Mr. Messi, what's your view about the proposal which allegedly you and Mr. Baloi and Mr. Humalo and Mr. Munye are discussing?
As it is the court, I think that this is an issue relating to accused number 1.
Yeah, fine.
I think it is in the domain of accused number 1, but whether or not evidence, there could be a request that particular evidence should be incorporated in a particular trial. I think there's nothing irregular about it.
There's nothing irregular?
Yes.
Mr. Munye? Sorry?
My lord, I think it is matters that rest in the terrain of accused number 1, so I will have nothing to comment about. Yes. But in as far as the incorporation of the evidence in the main trial, there is nothing irregular, as my colleague has indicated.
You say there's nothing irregular?
Yes, there is nothing irregular, as long as the state makes an application.
My lord, our position is also the same. That evidence relates only to accused number 1. It does not relate to accused number 5, so we have no comment.
Of course, you can't quote any decision. Can you quote any decision, Mr. Nisi, that there's nothing irregular, Mr. Numaro and Mr. Munyeki?
No, I don't think no.
There's no decision.
It's a long-standing practice.
Nah. It's the other way around.
Oh, okay, thank you.
If a person testifies in the main trial before this court has held an inquiry as to whether there's any dispute about the admissibility of either admissions, statements, or pointing out, and the court declares that a trial within a trial should be held after the so-called gentleman Lion Zulu has testified in the main trial, I don't think you can incorporate that evidence by agreement into the trial within the trial. It's irregular. Because the injunction is that what happens in the trial within the trial should not be contaminated with what happens in the main trial. Is that not so, Mr. Baloi?
Well,
so you can recall the gentleman to come and give evidence, no problem.
Yes, in fact, that's what we're informing the defense, that it will serve no purpose to call the witness just for him to confirm what is testified about in the main trial. We can just I don't think there's anything that debars the state and the defense to agree to the incorporation of the evidence.
That is permissible.
Yes.
If you do it that way, but he must be in court and he must confirm.
Yes.
That's the evidence which he has given. He stands by it.
Yes, but if the defense then says that exercise is not necessary and they make an admission to that effect, a 220 admission.
Yeah,
I think.
No, the problem with it, fine.
That will still be proper.
Because we have Mr. Mgomezulu here says it can be done.
Yes, which is the proposal. We prepare the 220 admissions.
Okay, fine. You can address me later on, but I'm of the view that it's done here. When it goes to the SCA, they will say, this guy, what was he smoking?
Yes. And that also relates to the clocking records of accused number 2 and his leave application as testified to by Mr. Melder. So those two aspects, those two witnesses.
And what about the latter? What is this agreement?
Well, the same will apply as with Mr. Zwane's evidence.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
All right.
But once there's a meeting of the minds, we will inform the court accordingly.
Yeah, you can go bypass it by invoking Section 220.
Yes, yes.
That
is the route that we've proposed to the defense.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Yes, Brigadier. Yeah, you can continue. You mentioned that it was, as you put it, abundantly clear that accused number 1 and Mr. Zwane know each other.
Absolutely, my lord. It was based on the utterances that occurred between the two of them.
Namnjengoba sengishilo ukuthi kwacaca bhake ukuthi bayazana ke umsolo woqala kanye naye ke ubabuzwane ngenxa ke yaloko okwashiwo noma okwakhulunywa phakathi kwabo bobabili.
Furthermore, my lord, it also became clear that accused 1 was making further confessions to Mr. Zwane when they were just talking as to what was wrong, why was he, in that position.
Okunye futhi ke okwacaca ke ukuthi ke umsola woqala ke wayeseqhubeka ke evuma okunye uma ke manje esesho noma esekhuluma ke kuyena ke ubabuzwane ukuthi kwakuyini ke engakaze ihambe kahle noma engazange ihambe kahle nokuthi kwakungani ke eseyithola ekulesiya simo.
My lord, I warned him again immediately according to his constitutional rights and indicate that what he was saying, this discussion that I was privy to, can be used against him in a court of law, and the other rights that I referred to, he said understands, but he's simply just telling the truth. But the discussion was between the two of them, my lord.
Ngase ngiqhubeka futhi ke ngimxwayisa ke ukuthi manje ke ngiqhwayisa futhi ke ngamalungelo akhe ke nokuthi ke lokhu ke manje engikuzwayo okukhulunywayo ke noma akushoyo ke kule nkulumo ukuthi kungasetshenziswa kuyena ke enkantolo ke wase ethi ke uyangizwa ukuthi nje ukhuluma nje iqiniso.
Now that's Mr. Zwane and accused number 1. Who are you referring to?
Mr. Zwane is the witch doctor, my lord, that I was referring to.
Yes, but the one that was making admissions and the one that you want in terms of constitutional right, which one are you referring to?
So, my lord, just to interject and to just put things in a correct perspective. My lord, I'm concerned about the word witch doctor. I think we should give the proper meaning because it has some defamatory elements. So let us get the literal meaning of what is a witch doctor. Because in Zulu, mthakati, which I understand
perhaps traditional healer will be more appropriate.
Traditional healer?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Mr. Zwane said.
Yes. 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 Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Mposo. Yes. Just clarify, who did you warn in terms of the constitutional rights?
Yes, my lord. So the first part, it was accused 1 making the confessions to the traditional healer, Mr. Zwane. And it is accused 1 that I was warning according to his section 35 constitutional right, my lord.
Lapha ke ngishoyo ke ukuthi manje umuntu wayeseqhubeka ke evuma ke noma eqhubeka ke nokuvuma noma ke gonuluka ke komunye kwakuwumsola woqala kuyena ke lo owumlaphi wendabuko futhi ke kwaba uyena ke futhi engiqhubekayo ke ngimexwayisa ngamalungelo akhe.
Yes, may I proceed?
My lord, thereafter I asked the said members to remove accused 1 so that I can carry on with further interviews with the traditional healer, Mr. Zwane.
Ngase ngiwacela ke amalunga lana ke ukuthi ke amkhiphe ke umsola woqala ukuze ke ngiqhubekeke nokuthi ngikhulumisane naye ubabuzwane.
Yes.
After our discussion, my lord, it became clear that one can utilize him by obtaining a statement. I therefore requested my colleague, that is the head of the anti-corruption unit in Germiston, Colonel Mutlame, to assist me in taking the statement from Mr. Zwane.
Kwase kucaca-ke kwinkulumo yami-ke naye-ke ubaba uZwane ukuthi-ke manje sengingamsebenzisa-ke nanjengofakazi-ke ngase ngicela-ke uzakwethu oKolonel Mutlame osebenza-ke eGermiston ukuthi angilekele noma angisize-ke ngokuthi-ke athathe istatimende kuyena ubaba uZwane.
My lord, you agreed. I then requested the members to take Mr. Zwane to the kennel in Germiston DPCI and thereafter take him home after such statement has been taken.
Phela-ke ngase ngibacela-ke amalunga lana ukuthi-ke asize-ke ngokuthi-ke athathe ubaba uZwane bamhambise-ke bamikise khona-ke eGermiston kuKolonel Mutlame ayonikeza-ke ngaleso statement leso bese kuthi-ke emuva kwalokho-ke bamthathe bamhambise ekhaya.
Yes.
Indeed, my lord, such a statement was taken, and I know because then it was brought to my attention, that is, Colonel Mutlame first informed me that he's done, and the statement was brought to me. And insofar as accused one is concerned, I do know that he was eventually detained back at Valera SAPS after the taking of the statement.
Impela-ke kwenzeka-ke lokho ngoba-ke wangitshela-ke uKolonel Mutlame ukuthi useqedile-ke emuva kwalokho istatimende salethwa-ke kumina nokuthi-ke emuva kwalokho-ke sesithathiwe-ke leso statimende umsolo wokuqala-ke wabuyiselwa-ke khona eValeria emaphoyiseni akhona.
Just before we proceed, you mentioned that after accused number 1 made a statement to Colonel Mboto, you received this statement the following day.
Yes, my lord. In my recollection, it would have been the following day because he refused to give it to the said members for security reasons and the leakages, my lord.
Impela-ke ngishilo ukuthi-ke emuva kokuthi uKolonel Mboto esesithathile-ke istatimende kuyena umsolo wokuqala ngasithola-ke mina-ke ngelanga elilandelayo ngoba-ke wanqaba-ke ukuthi asinikeze-ke amalunga-ke lokho kungeyizathu nje zokuvikeleka nokuthi-ke mhlawumbe sesingaphuma-ke manje noma sibe sobala-ke.
I just want to show you a document which has been handed up as Exhibit FF. Can you just identify the document?
Yes, my lord. This is the pro forma that was given to me, completed by Colonel Mboto, insofar as the confession that was made by accused number 1.
Lena-ke iyona-ke iform noma lena ebizwa ngokuthi-ke i-pro forma engayinikezwa uyena-ke uKolonel Mboto emumva kokuthi eseqedile-ke ukuthi-ke umsolo wokuqala akhulume noma avume kuyena.
And it includes the same attachment that I saw when the statement was given by me. This is now the annexure to the pro forma, my lord.
Futhi-ke isenale phepha nama amanye amaphepha-ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi annexure-ke eyayikhona-ke nkathi inikezwa mina amanye amaphepha la ahamba nayo-ke i-pro forma lena.
So court, please, my lord, it's almost time for the short adjournment.
Oh,
Can we then?
Okay, short adjournment.